Well, the BJP seems to be on an outreach mode. It was during Easter that they decided to go have an outreach with the Christians in Kerala. But now the BJP is carrying out an outreach program with Muslims just ahead of Eid. Now, recently, visits to Christian religious heads, pastors and selected few Christian homes on Easter had sparked a political debate in the state. The governing left and the Congress hitting out at the Saffron Party. Now, BJP, in a serious bid to woo the other sizable minority community in the state ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha polls, plans to visit homes of the people from the Muslim community on Eid, which is right around the corner. As part of the outreach, BJP cadres will visit Muslim households and extend wishes, along with opening their houses for others to join them in the celebrations on the day of Vishu, which is tomorrow. But the BJP's attempt to get closer to the Christian community has left clerics in Kerala divided. Will past declarations against minorities by the BJP come back to haunt them? Joining me to discuss about this in the studios, we have Brijesh Pandey, political editor with NEWS9. We have Jisha Surya, who joins us from Kerala, and Dr. G. Gopakumar, who is a political scientist as well as a psephologist. Well, let me get to our political editor, Brijesh. How do you see this outreach program? Two big minorities in Kerala. Kerala has 20 MP seats. Last time in the elections, 19 of the Congress seats were from Kerala. One was, of course, with the left front. But then BJP has been trying to understand the electoral math. It has realized that without the minority support, it won't be able to make that huge kind of a gain that they want to see in Kerala. Prakash Javadekar has been tasked with 5 seats. How do you see this outreach program?
Well, I think, Prakash Javadekar is tasked with perhaps the most difficult task of his political career. Because, this is not the first time BJP is trying to make an inroad into the politics of Kerala. RSS is very, very active in Kerala, and other than this,
it also has one of the highest number of
shakhas here in Kerala. And from time to time, national media also goes there, covers the kind of violent skirmishes between the left and the RSS cadres, and its aftermath. Before this also, we saw BJP president at that time, Amit Shah, holding a Padayatra in the state of Kerala, and many cabinet ministers and everybody descending down to the state of Kerala, and BJP making a serious pitch. As per the BJP, they were trying their level best to carve out a political space for them, because they feel that areas where they can reach to the maximum, they have already reached to the maximum. Now has come for the time for expanding its political footprint, and that is the reason why southern states have come in for special consideration. That is why you see the national executive being held in Telangana, the prime minister's visit to the state of Tamil Nadu, Andhra and Kerala. See, the thing is that the seeds for this outreach was sown in the last year's national executive of the BJP, which was held in Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad. The Prime Minister said that, that the BJP should make an outreach to the Pasmanda communities. Now, within the Muslim communities, Pasmanda constitutes for almost 75-80% of its constituency. And it was felt at that point of time that if BJP is able to make an outreach and is able to, get a decent or make a decent inroad into the Pasmanda community, the kind of arithmetical calculus that will emerge out of it will make BJP simply unbeatable in the state of Uttar Pradesh. And if they are able to do that, they will be able to replicate that model in the states of Bihar and a couple of other North Indian states, where the number of Lok Sabha seats is in itself enough to get you to power in Delhi. And this is following the same footprint. Prakash Javadekar and BJP is trying to implement the same in the state of Kerala, where they first tried to make an outreach to the Christian community, and the second, Prakash Javadekar has asked all the leaders to go and visit the Muslim constituency. But herein lies the biggest challenge. The politics is patently anti-Muslims. The outreach is for Muslims. So bridge this divide, which is pretty huge, because there is a massive trust deficit. It will be perhaps one of the most Herculean tasks BJP has undertaken till now.
Basically, Javadekar has got a schizophrenic task at hand. How to, in fact, let's get Jisha Surya into the discussion. Jisha, we have seen how a lot of left front leaders, the LDF leaders as well as UDF leaders have said this is just not going to work out. This kind of outreach that they have made. Surendran in the last campaign has been talking about a Christian-Hindu combination, especially in central Travancore region and south Kerala as well. but most of them say it's not going to work out. How confident are these both UDF and LDF when they make statements like this, that these are captive voters, they are captive vote banks, and we know how they will vote, despite most of these religious leaders from these communities, especially from the Christian community, saying that BJP is not someone we don't have any sort of untouchability towards. Everyone is can approach us. So with those kind of statements coming in, how difficult it is for the BJP to make that outreach? And second, at the same time, why is that the UDF and LDF are very confident when it comes to the minority votes that will only go to the LDF or the UDF?
Right. Yes, as Bridges rightly pointed out, one side, when they started with the Christian outreach program, they were having this anti-Muslim themes, like they were specifically pointing out the issue of PFI ban, and also like some examples of economic halal economy, things like that are basically anti-Muslim stuff they were taking out to reach out the Christian community. So with that, when they have this topic in their one side, their approach to their plan to reach out to Muslim community on the other side, that will its effect will be questionable. But the CPM and Congress, as you asked, they are taking it not lightly. We can see from their response, both the CPM and the Congress are planning a lot of campaigns against this. One thing, they have specifically taken out this statement from RSS ideologue MS Golwalkar's book, Bunch of Thoughts, which was translated much years ago to Malayalam in the name of Vicharadhara, where he has specifically mentioned that the Christians, Muslims, and communists are internal threats. So the BJP, so CPM is specifically using such instances, and the recent protest by a group of Christian community at New Delhi, various Christian organizations had a protest meeting in New Delhi where they raised this issue of continuing attack against minorities. And these particular incidents are raised by CPM. Yesterday they had this their mouthpiece People's Democracy, where they have lashed out against this BJP's community outreach program. So they are not taking it lightly. They are organizing a series of campaigns. They are trying to remind people that there are these past issues, like their ideology is this. There aren't such instances happened. Even the murder of Graham Stains that are being evoked to remind people that the Sangha Parivar history is not clean. So all these parties are not taking it lightly.
All the parties are not taking it lightly. Let's get in Dr. Gopakumar. Dr. Gopakumar, when we talk about the Muslim community in Kerala, we have seen them to be very communitarian. They already have the Muslim League to represent them. They also have been largely voting for the left also, especially after Pinarayi has come in. And they have a Congress base. But then how much of it's going to be practical for the BJP to actually find some kind of a way to get them on board? Because politically, they know that they are averse to the BJP. How do you think that the strategy of outreach could even work with the Muslim community in Kerala, who are sizably with the Muslim League as well as the Left Democratic Front?
You are right. It's $1 million question as to how much BJP will be successful in reaching to the Muslims. Already there is a minor sprinkling of Muslim supporters within the BJP, but to expand its horizon, it's a very big challenge. The BJP has already initiated for an outreach towards the Christians, which will be more effective than the Muslim community, because the Christian community, a large section of them are highly educated and belong to the middle class, and also they have a historical Hindu base. So there is no strong antipathy towards BJP. Give chance that BJP becomes a mainstream party, the Christians will not have much inhibition in supporting the BJP. But even then, they have to do a lot of work, because traditionally the Christian communities were with the Congress all the time. But now things have changed. The micro-balancing of vote bank politics has also changed. As you rightly mentioned, the left has started penetrating to the Muslim community in a sizable way. Historically, the Muslim community in Kerala constituting 27% of the population, they were particularly North Kerala, they were with the Muslim League, and the nationalist Muslims were with the Congress. This was the attitude and the position for a pretty long time. But this has changed over the period, and now if you measure the left votes, definitely 25 to 30% of vote share of the LDF comes from the Muslim community. This was possible for two reasons. One, the conventional stronghold, the Indian Union Muslim League, has started declining, particularly during the last 25 years. And a militant wing has risen up. In between that, there is another splinter group called Indian National League, which believe in parliamentary politics and electoral politics, and they join with the left. So the CPM is now turning more towards a Muslim vote, because although they have a strong Hindu base, particularly with OBC, if they can take away a sizable section of Muslim votes, that will help them electorally to get a critical mass base for continued success in electoral politics. This is exactly here the Congress is in a dilemma, because the Congress and the Muslim League were in the same coalition for a long, long time. But with the decline of the Indian Union Muslim League on the one side, the rise of militancy, ISIS recruits, and then you have INL, Indian National League.
Right.
Extremism has caught up in several levels, and this has created a big challenge for the Muslim community in general. So in the meantime, if the BJP is trying to appeal to them, initially they will have a lot of challenges because they may not accept it because...
Right, Professor Gopakumar, and we just hold on to your thoughts, and we now bring you this special report. Despite being in power for 2 terms, the Muslim vote has remained elusive for the BJP. The Pasmanda outreach is a step in that direction. With 2024 elections approaching, will the Saffron Party be able to carve out an electorate for itself? Here's a snippet. You can also take a look at the complete report on NEWS9 Plus app. Download the app now for cutting-edge shows. Let's take a look at this.
एक ही जो भ्रम फैलाते थे कि मुसलमान भाजपा से नाराज है, मुसलमानों को भाजपा पर विश्वास नहीं है। विपक्ष के इस भ्रम को, इस मिथक को, इस उपचुनाव ने तोड़ दिया।
आज भी माहौल ये चल रहा है कि जो है ऊपर दस्तरखान इनका नहीं लगेगा, ये जो है चारपाई पे नहीं बैठ सकते हैं पसमानदा कौम के लोग।
Cabinet Minister and the then BJP UP President Swatantra Dev Singh was presenting a report on the party's performance in the recently concluded by-polls in Azamgarh and Rampur. The BJP had scripted a stunning reversal during the presentation.
21वीं सदी का नया भारत, आत्मनिर्भर भारत और मेक इंडिया के सपनों को लेकर आगे बढ़ा।
PM Narendra Modi made a brief interjection and said that the need of the hour was to focus on Pasmanda Muslims and their upliftment. The PM also asked his party leaders to take out Snehi Yatras to bridge differences between the party and Pasmanda Muslims. What was meant to be a show of strength for the BJP's southern surge turned out to be a much bigger political message of Pasmanda outreach, which might well be Modi's trump card in the 2024 general election.
Pasmanda is a Persian word that means the ones left behind. What makes them so valuable to the BJP is their sheer number. Though the Sachar committee in its report puts the population of OBC and SC/ST Muslims at 40%, Pasmanda activists and scholars say that they constitute 80 to 85% of the total Muslim base in India, which tallies with the 1871 census that said that only 17% of Muslims were upper caste while 81% were from lower caste. And this arithmetic makes them an important voter pool.
Danish Ansari is the symbol of Pasmanda outreach in UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's cabinet. Hailing from Balia, Ansari has held various positions in the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad and was state president of the BJP's minority cell before he was made the Minister for Minorities. Ansari believes that BJP's victory in 2 by-polls in UP, Rampur and Azamgarh in June 2022 is a clear indicator of a shift in the Muslim community's voting preference.
देखिए, एक ही जो भ्रम फैलाते थे कि मुसलमान भाजपा से नाराज है, मुसलमानों को भाजपा पर विश्वास नहीं है, इस भ्रम, विपक्ष के इस भ्रम को, इस मिथक को इस उपचुनाव ने तोड़ दिया है। रामपुर में जहां 50% से ज्यादा मुस्लिम आबादी है और आजमगढ़ में जहां अल्पसंख्यक बाहुल्य वो लोकसभा कही जाती है, उन दोनों जगह लोकसभा के उपचुनाव में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने ऐतिहासिक जीत करके ये साबित कर दिया कि आज समाज का हर वर्ग, चाहे किसी जाति धर्म मजहब का हो, वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है। मोदी जी के नीतियों पर विश्वास करते हुए वो भाजपा के ऊपर विश्वास कर रहा है और दोनों उपचुनाव में ये जीत अगर मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी साथ नहीं होती तो हमें नहीं मिल पाती। और दोनों जगह की जीत ये स्पष्ट संदेश देती है कि हम मुसलमान अब विकास की तरफ हैं, जो हमें विकास देगा हम उसकी तरफ हैं। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हमारे विकास के जो नए नए रास्ते खोले हैं, हम मुसलमानों को उन पर पूरा भरोसा है और हम अब उनके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला के आगे बढ़ेंगे।
Well, you can also take a look at the complete report on News9 Plus app. Download the app now for that cutting-edge shows. Well, we were in fact looking at how the Pasmanda community was being wooed. Rajesh, we were talking about the Pasmanda community being wooed, and they claim that they are 80% of the Muslims in the country. But again, in the south, it has the different demographics, to which I will get Professor Gopakumar into it. But is the same strategy, what works in one place, being applied to a place that has a very different structure altogether, social structure altogether? Are they doing the right research?
I don't think so. You know, just one size fit all narrative doesn't work given the kind of diversity which we see in India. You know, here also in the state of Uttar Pradesh, you know, their outreach was also based on the number of schemes which was launched by the government. You know, and there were several schemes in which many of the recipients were belonged to the Pasmanda community. So the government was hopeful, or the party was hopeful, that if the outreach can be started in this fashion, then it will be a much more effective outreach. But you know, the majority of the people I spoke to, our colleagues spoke to, you know, there was a great degree of apprehension, you know, because they said that, you know, that the pejorative terms of the puncharwalas and the tirewalas and the cycle makers and all, which is being used by many in the BJP, or is you know, filled on this full on in the social media, is related only to the Pasmanda Muslims, because they are the one who do these kind of works. So, you know, you are saying something, you are making an outreach, but you have to also demonstrate your intent towards it. Unfortunately, the demonstration of that intent has not come out. If Prakash Javadekar goes and talks to a Muslim community or Muslim family in the state of Kerala, you know, the intent could be good, but you have to also ensure that that intent is also seen in action. That seen in action is the leap of faith which the BJP has to take if it wants to bridge that divide and you know, milk this outreach.
Well, let us get to Dr. Gopakumar. Dr. Gopakumar, the Pasmanda Muslim outreach is being carried out in the north. The BJP claims it's working, but in Kerala, the Muslim community has a very different demography. Can you explain the demography with regards to the Muslim community, and how would the BJP try to reach out to this particular demography?
You're asking about the nature of coalition system?
No, I'm talking about the nature of the Muslim community in Kerala. They have a totally different set of rules and regulations. They follow a different kind of cultural mooring. So when it comes to the North Indian Muslims, the BJP is having an outreach with them. But how difficult it would be for a demography of Muslims in Kerala? They have a completely different outlook. They are exposed to different kind of ideologies. They are actually economically well off compared to most of the Muslim communities in the other states to a large extent. They also have the literacy levels that are quite higher compared to other Muslim communities in the other states. So those kind of differences, how do you think will factor in when the BJP will have to make out that outreach?
Yes, compared to the North India, the Muslim community in Kerala is far ahead in the sense relatively better educated, internationally exposed thanks to the Gulf income, and widely traveled across the world. So that way, comparatively, Kerala Muslims are educated and hardworking, but there are variations across the regions within the state. As I mentioned earlier, historically, the nationalist Muslims were with the Congress, but in North Malabar, the All India Muslim League got split after the partition, got into Indian Union Muslim League, and thereafter Indian Union Muslim League became more a kind of a regional party in Kerala, and they were able to dominate the politics of the state until recently. But particularly after the Ayodhya, December 6, 1992, the Indian Union Muslim League received several reverses within the community, and that led to the rise of Indian National League, another challenging party to the Muslim League. In between, the rise of extremism across the country, particularly affecting the Muslim League, also influenced a section of the Muslim community in Kerala. As you may be aware that there was a PDP leader called Abdul Nasser Madani, who continues in jail for over 15 years. And his extremist activities had some impact in Kerala politics. And there were some connections with ISIS, as some data later brought about from the National Security Department. So the Muslim community, broadly, they were with the mainstream politics of coalition, either with the UDF or with the LDF. But the Left Democratic Front successfully influenced a section of the Muslim community, much to the dismay of the Congress and the UDF. That's a dilemma, because the Muslim League itself cannot control the political inclination, but by and large, the feeling that Congress is unable to challenge the BJP at the national level. So those sections who believe that Congress is unable to challenge the BJP at the national level, they are with the left. So that is one important dimension, and that becomes a trump card for the left to win elections successfully. Because as mentioned here, 27% of the population is sizable, although only a small fraction, maybe 30% or so, maybe with the LDF, but definitely that has double impact as far as LDF is concerned. So electorally, Congress faces reverses. It is in this context the BJP is trying to influence the Muslim community. They may of course try to become more inclusive, and they have to. BJP has to convince the Muslim community that it is not a North Indian party. It is a pan-national party focused on development. And particularly the need for uniform civil code is one of the important themes in Kerala politics as well, because educated Muslims will certainly support uniform civil code. So this is a situation of the Muslim community generally in Kerala. So historically, they were with the UDF and the Congress, but now a larger section of them has moved out towards the LDF. In between, the BJP is trying to impact upon the Muslim community, but I doubt how successful this could be, unlike the Christian community. Because first of all, the credibility question of the BJP will be number one, because they have to convince that this is more an inclusive party and they will respect the minorities in general. Once that comes, definitely the Muslim community will support the BJP. So the first question is how far the BJP can improve its credibility among the Muslim minority, which are 27% of the total population. If they are convinced, and once the Muslim community some of them share their support to the BJP, I'm sure the BJP will be able to improve their critical mass base.
Well, good observation out there, Professor Gopakumar. Let me get Jisha Surya into it. Jisha, one of the issues that has been highlighted when it comes is the UCC. There have been several issues about how the succession of the wealth is handed over to the children in Muslim marriages. Recently, we did find a known couple going and registering their marriage under the Special Marriage Act, because the laws, the family laws of or the succession laws among the Muslim community says that 2/3 is only available to the daughters if they don't have a son, and 1/3 will go to the family members. So UCC is something that is gaining ground in the Muslim community in Kerala, especially when it comes to the transfer of wealth. And BJP, of course, has been harping about UCC and bringing in a uniform civil code. How do you see that this could be the common ground in which they will be able to connect with the Muslim voters in Kerala? Do you think that is a possibility?
Actually, this group, which is actively campaigning for the property rights of Muslim women, but they specifically say that they are not in for the UCC. They said they want to address certain issue flaws in the Muslim personal law, including the issue of personal wealth of property rights of Muslim women. But they said that even the issue of triple talaq, the way it was criminalized, they are not in favor of this. So even within the progressive community groups in Muslims, they are not very in favor of the UCC in Kerala as far as a majority is concerned. So the BJP's attempt to implement the UCC don't have much of a support in Kerala right now. But they wanted to address issues like this equal rights for women, property rights for women, and things like that.
So what would be the common ground, Jisha, that they will have to go ahead and address this particular community? Because as Professor Gopakumar was saying, that is issue about credibility, there is an issue about a trust deficit. What could be the common grounds that we would be able to go ahead and speak to them? Because we know that how Surendran and the entire group of BJP leaders talked about love jihad. They had spoken about the communal issues that were there in central as well as in North Kerala. There has been a historic kind of enmity that has been there between certain extremist Muslim organizations and the RSS. There have been even deaths have been reported from certain parties. PFI ban is something that has also echoed. PFI also had a huge... So, with all this happening, where do you think that the BJP can make any kind of inroads, and whether this outreach actually matters at all?
If you take the example of BJP's strategy towards Christian community, they have specific themes, like, for example, the rubber price of rubber, or the issue of other agrarian issues, and of course the allegations of love jihad. They have various topics that they think would connect with the Christian community, but that kind of a thing is not happening with the Muslim community. For example, this property rights, that's something BJP could take up regarding the equal property rights of Muslim women. That issue is with the consideration of the Supreme Court, and there are groups within Kerala which is actively campaigning for equal property rights of the Muslim women. And what I understand is the LDF government too is not very supportive because of the this strong orthodox sentiments of the Muslims, and this Muslim vote bank is very important for both UDF and LDF. So they haven't taken up this issue of equal property rights of Muslim women, which would soon come up in the Supreme Court. So the central government stand or the BJP stand will be important. But again, there aren't much other topics that they can relate to, especially since the Kerala has the state has actively discussed the issue of halal, this halal food issue that at last time the BJP has taken up, and this issue of hijab, then this allegations of love jihad. And generally, the PFA ban also, the BJP leaders in Kerala tried to portray it as the PFA as a threat to Christians. So all these things are mostly, like the People Democracy alleged, are some fanning the anti-Muslim sentiments. So BJP had to really work on ground to find out real problems that would resonate with the Muslim community.
Well, in fact, let's take a look at the special report that has been prepared by NEWS9 Plus. Despite being in power for 2 terms, the Muslim vote has remained elusive for the BJP. The Pasmanda outreach is a step in this direction. With the 2024 elections approaching, will the Saffron Party be able to carve out an electorate for itself? Here's a snippet. You can also take a look at the complete report on NEWS9 Plus app. Download the app now for cutting-edge shows.
एक ही जो भ्रम फैलाते थे कि मुसलमान भाजपा से नाराज है, मुसलमानों को भाजपा पर विश्वास नहीं है। विपक्ष के इस भ्रम को, इस मिथक को इस उपचुनाव ने तोड़ दिया।
आज भी माहौल ये चल रहा है कि जो है ऊपर दस्तरखान इनका नहीं लगेगा, ये जो है चारपाई पे नहीं बैठ सकते हैं पसमानदा कौम के लोग।
cabinet minister, and the then BJP UP president Swatantra Dev Singh was presenting a report on the party's performance in the recently concluded by-polls in Azamgarh and Rampur. The BJP had scripted a stunning reversal during the presentation.
21वीं सदी का नया भारत, आत्मनिर्भर भारत और मेक इंडिया के सपनों को लेकर आगे बढ़ा।
PM Narendra Modi made a brief interjection and said that the need of the hour was to focus on Pasmanda Muslims and their upliftment. The PM also asked his party leaders to take out Snehi Yatras to bridge differences between the party and Pasmanda Muslims. What was meant to be a show of strength for the BJP's southern surge turned out to be a much bigger political message of Pasmanda outreach, which might well be Modi's trump card in the 2024 general election.
Pasmanda is a Persian word that means the ones left behind. What makes them so valuable to the BJP is their sheer number. Though the Sachar committee in its report puts the population of OBC and SC/ST Muslims at 40%, Pasmanda activists and scholars say that they constitute 80 to 85% of the total Muslim base in India, which tallies with the 1871 census that said that only 17% of Muslims were upper caste while 81% were from lower caste. And this arithmetic makes them an important voter pool.
Danish Ansari is the symbol of Pasmanda outreach in UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's cabinet. Hailing from Balia, Ansari has held various positions in the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad and was state president of the BJP's minority cell before he was made the minister for minorities. Ansari believes that BJP's victory in two by-polls in UP, Rampur and Azamgarh in June 2022 is a clear indicator of a shift in the Muslim community's voting preference.
देखिए, एक ये जो भ्रम फैलाते थे कि मुसलमान भाजपा से नाराज है, मुसलमानों को भाजपा पे विश्वास नहीं है, इस भ्रम, विपक्ष के इस भ्रम को, इस मिथक को इस उपचुनाव ने तोड़ दिया है। रामपुर में जहां 50% से ज्यादा मुस्लिम आबादी है और आजमगढ़ में जहां अल्पसंख्यक बाहुल्य वो लोकसभा कही जाती है, उन दोनों जगह लोकसभा के उपचुनाव में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने ऐतिहासिक जीत करके ये साबित कर दिया कि आज समाज का हर वर्ग, चाहे किसी जाति धर्म मजहब का हो, वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है। मोदी जी के नीतियों पर विश्वास करते हुए वो भाजपा के ऊपर विश्वास कर रहा है और दोनों उपचुनाव में ये जीत अगर मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी साथ नहीं होती तो हमें नहीं मिल पाती। और दोनों जगह की जीत ये स्पष्ट संदेश देती है कि हम मुसलमान अब विकास की तरफ हैं, जो हमें विकास देगा हम उसकी तरफ हैं। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हमारे विकास के जो नए नए रास्ते खोले हैं, हम मुसलमानों को उन पर पूरा भरोसा है और हम अब उनके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला के आगे बढ़ेंगे।
Well, that was a snippet. You can also take a look at the complete report on News9 Plus app. Download the app now for this cutting-edge shows. Well, just before going into the break, we were looking at how the Muslim community was quite different and what issues could be the talking points. But how will the local Kerala leadership, in fact, react when it comes to this Muslim outreach? Brijesh, you know, they've been told to have a certain position, that is to have the Hindutva position. They have been talking about love jihad, they've been talking about land jihad, they've been talking about fishing rights, they're talking about missionary issues. They've been talking about a whole lot of issues which were Hindutva based. And now suddenly you've been asked to go for an outreach. Now for the common man on the ground, the person, the common cadre of the BJP on the ground, it's a very difficult situation. How do I approach someone whom I've been saying was not in the national interest?
Well, absolutely. And I think this is the reason, why I said at the start of the show that this is perhaps the most politically difficult task Prakash Javadekar has been assigned with. Because, till now, the person who was at the receiving end of all your diatribes, all your vitriolics, is now all of a sudden the person who has to be approached and who has to be wooed. So this 180-degree shift in your strategy is something, what people at the top can do. But people at the ground, your foot soldiers, for them, this is going to be a Herculean task, almost next to impossible. And the biggest challenge for the BJP is not to say this, but to demonstrate a visible intent that yes, this is what we want to do. And if there is a 1 degree more than the demonstrated intent, you run the risk of alienating your own Hindutva vote bank. So it's a very, very difficult task for the BJP, and they have to work like a very accomplished trapeze artist to make sure that that you don't fall between the stool in attempts to make an outreach to both sides and losing out onto your own
core voters.
core vote.
Yeah, that is in fact the kind of difficulty that the BJP might be facing in Kerala. Well, it's a tough task for Javadekar. Well, wish him all the best when he makes that outreach, is what we can say at News 9. But that is a wrap on our special program. News 9 programs will continue on the other side.